Hey, 1st through 4th grade leaders, this weekend we're continuing the big idea of respect. Respect is showing others they are important by what you say and do. This weekend is going to be good because we are going to talk about respecting our parents. Our Bible story is going to come from Ephesians chapter 6, verses 2 through 3, along with supporting scripture from Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 16. Our first activity as the kids arrive is going to be called a respect ring toss. As the kids arrive, you're going to have them divide up into two teams. Each team has 7 plates, and the words are going to spell out respect on them. You're going to have poles that are going to be pool noodles, and what the kids are going to do is try to throw the plates onto the poles to spell out the word respect. And then you're going to transition with saying, we've learned a lot of about respect this month, and we're going to even talk more about that and what God has to say about it in the Bible with regards to our parents. All right, so after we get finished with that, we're going to go through to large group, and we're going to do a game, and we're going to practice the church clap song, and then we will go back to our small groups. You're going to start off your small group activity with an icebreaker. The icebreaker question this week is, how do your parents show that you are important to them? What are some things that they show to you that are important to them? So what I'm asking you to do is be a little bit sensitive. We do have a large foster children that will be attending our services. So just be sensitive to the fact of you can use the words caregivers so that they can talk about not only how their parents show them that they're important, but also their caregivers if they're in foster families. All right, after that, the first activity is called You Are the Best. The kids are actually going to make a card for their parents. The cards are going to encourage your kids to write down why they think their parents are the best. It could be things like they could list out moms on one side, dads on the others. If you do have foster families, let them do one for their parents and one for their foster families. They can make a list like they make their lunch for school, they tuck them in before bed, they run them around to all their extracurricular activities. Just help encourage the kids to come up with some ways that show that their parents or caregivers do things for them to show that they're important. Their second activity after that's going to be to work on the verse, and it's called Rhythm Pass. You're going to make 2 teams with your small group. You're going to have 1 ball. And what you want to do is kind of spread it out where you'll have the same amount of people on each team, and they're going to be facing each other. The first word of the verse is said by the person holding the ball. Then that person tosses it to the second person in line across from them. So it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, back and forth, staggered. We can go over that in huddle up time if that doesn't make sense for you. And lastly, we're going to close in our prayer time to God. You're going to go around the circle and be sensitive for kids that are a little bit shy. And if they are shy, just say this with them. They're going to say, Dear God, thank you for my parents, or thank you for my caregivers. Please help me to respect them. And that's all they have to say. So they're going to do that as a group, close their eyes and say that personally. They could even, if you have really shy kids, they could say it silently to themselves. Then you're going to do prayer requests and then close out in prayer. All right, hope you're having a great week. Please don't forget that we are now asking that you arrive 30 minutes early. This is something that Pastor Jackie's asking across the board, from our first impression teams to greeters and cafe, to be there 30 minutes early. So we need to emulate that as children's and preschool ministries as well. So arrive at 8:30 for first service, and by 10 o'clock for second, which means you need to get out of service and come right over and get started so we can help transition the first service leaders to church service. All right, thanks so much, and I'll see you in Huddle Up time on Sunday.